baseball, and tailgating. This is Marie from Discount Liquor. For over 60 years, we've been part of the starting lineup that makes your tailgate an experience. With over 2,000 varieties of beer, 4,000 types of liquor, and over 8,000 wines, we're your pre-game headquarters. It's not a game without a tailgate, and it's not a tailgate without a stop at Discount Liquor. So before you head to the ballpark, head to Discount Liquor. 2 area locations, in Milwaukee on 51st and Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Main and Barstow.
Discount Liquor.
Fleet Farm has everything you need to reel in even more fish this summer. Rod and reel combos? We've got them. Exclusive lures you won't find anywhere else. You betcha. And this week, Berkeley Gulp Plastics and Scents are on sale for 20% off. Plus, keep your drinks cold and food fresh on those marathon fishing days with our huge selection of Yeti coolers and drinkware, featuring new seasonal colors like Big Wave Blue. Angle in to get everything you need for your everyday life at Fleet Farm.
Suit up for the $800,000 Sports Car Series at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. April through May, score free play, cash, one of 4 new Toyota GR86s or a new Toyota Supra. Play with your club card to earn entries, 5 times the entries on drawing days, and when the Milwaukee Brewers play at home. Got what it takes? Slugger, only at Potawatomi. For more details, visit paysbig.com/sportscar. Must be 21 and a club member to play.
Get up! Get out of here and go!
Covering the Crew all season long on WTMJ. It's Brewers Extra Innings. Now live from American Family Field, here's your host, Dominic Cotroneo.
Well, if they were going to lose, kind of wish they lost in regulation given the way that 10th inning went. Ugh. 6-3 the final today. Brewers fall to the Cubs. This 4-game series is level at a game apiece. And a tall task tomorrow with Shota Imanaga getting the ball for the Cubs. The Brewers will have Bryce Wilson tomorrow. But tonight, it was a no-hitter through 7 for Ben Brown. Then it was not a no-hitter. Then it was not a shutout. Then we were going to extras, and then it wasn't. First and foremost, the news, Trevor McGill does not have a fracture in his arm. They will reassess tomorrow, but he's going to be good and sore for a while. We'll see how long he could be on the shelf. So as I welcome in Jerry Augustine, Augie, I mean, comebackers are part of the game, but maybe the Brewers might have dodged a bullet here, given that there is no fracture. McGill is going to be a really important piece for the next month, but he might be on the shelf for a little bit.
Yeah, that happens. I know that back when I was pitching, I faced Carlton Fisk. I had him 2-0. I looked at the scoreboard. He was hitting 200. I said, I'm going to throw a fastball right down the middle. Next thing I knew is I had a line drive hit off my forearm. And just like McGill, I had to leave the ball game. I didn't want to come out, but I had to. And then I was on the DL or the IL now for the 7 days that I had to be. But he was fortunate that was probably didn't hit in the bone area, might have hit in the little fatty part of the elbow, and that would that's a huge difference and a big break for the Brewers, because that can you crack it there or you get hurt there and some damage there, it can cause a lot of trouble for a long time. So good thing Trevor McGill's arm is not fractured, and we'll have to wait and see tomorrow to see how long he'll be out. But I think the Brewers dodged some real bad news tonight when he was his analysis was that he doesn't have the broken arm.
As for the Brewers, the other little bit of good news today was what Freddie Peralta did. He threw 111 pitches. He only had 2 walks, and he had 11 strikeouts in 5 2/3, just the 1 run allowed on the solo homer by Michael Busch back in the 3rd. And unfortunately for Freddie, it's back-to-back starts. He's been brilliant with the only run scoring against him being a solo home run. But Freddie, the overarching thought here is that, okay, he is getting back on track. He is looking like fastball Freddie once again. And moving forward, obviously going to be vital for the Brewers as they head to this middle third of the season.
He was dominant tonight. I think when you look at the way Freddie pitched at Miami, he threw the ball so well there and really pitched a good ball game and followed that up with another great outing. I just thought today his fastball was just so explosive. It was dominating. He did go into some deep counts, and that's where you get the 111 pitches in 5 2/3 innings. But I think what he did is he really commanded the strike zone. He was going to be aggressive. He was going to be aggressive with his fastball, and that's what he did. And when he needed his breaking ball, he was able to throw it. But I really liked the way he pitched the ball. He threw the ball up in the zone. He was devastating. Ball had a good life to it, and really commanded the strike zone when he needed to.
It's, speaking of fastballs, the one we saw tonight from Ben Brown, that was a really unique fastball. I mean, hats off to him. 7 shutout innings, career high in innings pitched, career high in strikeouts. He obviously got some help from Cody Bellinger, robbing a home run. That was an epic moment there in the 7th to rob Willie. But, I mean, Ben Brown, it's kind of a unicorn fastball, in my opinion, because he's really over the top with it. He has velocity with it, and yet it looked like it had some sink to my eye. It looked like it had some arm side run, and he did it with 2 pitches, just fastball, curveball all night, and he kept the Brewers off balance. It sounds simple. Oh, he only has 2 pitches. How does he dominate you? Well, there's something more to that. He was pitching. He was locating well.
Well, he's got the good finish on it. And you talked about the arm side movement on the ball is so important when you're a pitcher. If you can locate it and have a little bit of movement on it. But it also looked like he forced him the fastball, the type of ball that gets a little hop to it, and he was able to locate it, and with the breaking ball, getting it over. When he can get the breaking ball and use it effective, boy, he pitches with his fastball really well. And I thought the one thing he was so successful at tonight is how he used the fastball up in the zone. He was able to get it there, but when he needed a strike, he threw that good fastball. We saw the Brewers swing through a lot of pitches that looked kind of like semi in the middle of the plate, and that's what happens when you get that little extra on the ball when you throw either a 4 or 2-seam fastball with movement. You get that little bit extra. It's hard to pick up. But you're right, Dom. He's a style of pitcher. He's a tall and fall, what they call a tall and fall with a high arm pitcher, and the ball comes on a downward plane. And when you get that, and if you got the good movement with it, it can be devastating.
And we haven't even got to, we'll get to all the stuff that went wrong in today's game as well for the Brewers. Talk about the 8th inning, talk about some defense, but we haven't even mentioned Willie Adames even sending this game to extra innings when the Brewers were down to their final strike twice, and Adames just pokes a single in left field. He gets thrown out trying to make it into a double. I'm fine with that because you're the winning run if you can get into scoring position for Bauers. But maybe he was safe on replay because New York, I don't know what they were looking at. But Adames, once again, he's now becoming a Cub killer, and he's been arguably the most clutch player on the Brewers this season.
What a great at-bat. I tell you, when you talk about Neris has that great split finger. It's almost devastating, and really where you use a head, he got a 2-strike count on him. Neris tried to go away with that split finger. It stayed up in his zone a little bit, but you got to give kudos to Adames on that. Stayed back on the ball, reached out, and just was able to poke the ball in the left field, and the call was out at second, but just a big at bat there. But I'll tell you what, you got to like Yelich's at bat. Laying off that split finger with 2 strikes on 2 consecutive times was really a really good at bat. So the 2 big guys, Yelich and Adames, there came up with 2 big at bats, which helped the Brewers tie the ball game.
It was a massive moment. The balk that I still don't know how it was a balk, but the Brewers will take it. But then obviously they might have lost their closer for a few days after. 855-616-1620 is the phone number. Again, 855-616-1620. If you want to join us here on the program, want to get to that phone line, Brian in Tosa, you're live here on Brewers Extra Innings.
Hey, Dom. I've heard the amazing stat. We have not scored a single run off Cub starters this year.
Correct.
Thank God their bullpen is a train wreck. My buddy says they got 8 pitchers on the IL. Too bad, so sad. I mean, that's our difference right now is our bullpen is going to get us, and our offense is actually better than theirs. They had bases loaded twice and didn't get the big hit. So, if we can just get to the All-Star break and somehow get our starting lineup or rotation in order, I don't really see, although don't sleep on the Cardinals, all of a sudden they're finding their game, but I really don't see any team challenge if we can get, we don't have our bullpen arms fall off because of overuse. But I just was shocked about that state. And, I don't know, do we face the, whatever his name, how you say his name yet in this series? Is he going to pitch?
Yeah, Shota will pitch tomorrow. Shota Imanaga will pitch tomorrow. Yeah, exactly. So that's going to be a challenge. I didn't see this guy coming in, but boy, he did a number on us. So I mean, we didn't even really probably shouldn't have won this game, but and we didn't. But we probably shouldn't even got to the 10th inning. But it was good fight. We don't give up, and I'm not discouraged. But tomorrow's going to be a challenge. But other than that, you can't fault Freddie.
he was lights out, just one pitch again, and should have got the win. But otherwise, good effort, just some bad breaks at the end, and it just kind of fell apart in the 10th. But like I say, we probably shouldn't even been to the 10th.
Yeah, I appreciate the call there, Brian. Yeah, I agree entirely. The fact that the Brewers got to a 10th inning was impressive enough. There's no moral victories in Major League Baseball, but one day leads to the next, and now you force them to use Leiter and Wisniewski in back-to-back days. Neris, if he's going to get another save, it's going to be on back-to-back. Now the Brewers have seen the splitter, right, Augie? Like, every day leads to the next, and getting into that bullpen is going to be the key, but obviously the Brewers, 32 innings against Cubs starters this year, 0 runs. That's got to change first and foremost.
Well, I tell you what, they've constructed a really starting staff. When you look at Brown and Nehemiah that's pitching tomorrow, these guys have really stepped up their game, and they're getting Steele healthy, and they're starting to get healthy. And yeah, they have a lot of guys on the IL, and they said it's going to really help them in their bullpen. But if there's a weakness in this Chicago Cub team right now, you'd have to say it's in that bullpen. And Neris is a big pitcher for him. He's got to pitch well, and he's got that devastating split finger. And it's good that the Brewer hitters got to see him tonight, to see that good split finger that he does have. But it's going to get interesting. Tomorrow will be a big day. Hopefully they can score some runs. But again, you got to look at this game tonight. Boy, well pitched. Both starters were fantastic, and Dom, we talked about the Brewer and the Cub rivalry and the new situation with Craig Counsell down with the Cubs and Murph here with the Brewers. If that's what's going to be rivalry baseball, what we've seen out of the last two nights, it just doesn't get any better. Just some great pitching, but great baseball, great defense, the Bellinger play, and all the things that happen on the defense of both squads. Good, fun baseball, but rivalry, yes, a great rivalry, and it's fun to watch.
It was a lot of fun. We're going to take a first break of the evening. Back with more. Talk a little Jackson Churio and some decisions in this game on the other side of the break. Stay with us. Brewers Extra Innings on 620 WTMJ.
Coming up, more Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ. Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment and Abbey Windows. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
How do we keep our prices so low? That's easy. We've removed the middlemen. Yep, most landscape suppliers have a couple of them in there, and that's okay. But each one of those men in the middle means a higher cost for your mulch, decorative stone, flagstone, and boulders. Feel free to check around. For the quality of our products, you won't find better prices. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. You know, most mulch is reclaimed from landfills, but Erickson's mulch is ground from whole trees. Yep, we process the mulch ourselves to keep the prices nice and low, and use only premium colorant so the beautiful look of new mulch lasts. At Erickson's, we never skimp, and that's why first-time shoppers become repeat customers. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Welcome back. I'm Dom Catronio. Jerry Augustine is with us as well. Brewers Extra Innings all season long is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. With a local Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank also knows how to hit it out of the park. They've been serving businesses in the area for nearly 15 years, and they're offering industry-specific expertise and local decision-making capabilities to help your business succeed. It's commercial banking value that only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank National Association, member FDIC. Brewers fall 6-3 in 10 innings tonight to the Cubs. This series is level a game apiece. So let's set the stage here, Augie. This, right at the jump here, let's also remind everybody, this play turned out to not matter in the run column. It might have chased Freddie a little sooner than the Brewers wanted. They wanted him to get through 6, but ultimately this play did not impact the Brewers. In the top of the sixth inning. Freddie Peralta began that inning with 82 pitches, and he was going to face 9, 1, and 2 in the order. The first batter, Miguel Amaya, he had struck out his first time up. He gets ahead of Amaya. He gets it now out to 2-2 count, and he hits a little bloop in the shallow left. Jackson Chourio had a terrible jump on it. Watching it again, the numbers agree. He had a terrible jump on it. And still yet, StatCast projected that catch as an 85% catch probability. Quite frankly, a ball that needs to be caught. Every pitcher knows that ball needs to be caught. Every player knows that ball needs to be caught. And Chourio pulled up early. Ball drops. It's a single. Again, a run did not score in the inning, but it forced Freddie to throw a lot more. Freddie showed emotion on the mound, jumping like, you could tell the body language, like, dude, what are you doing kind of thing. And Bally Sports Wisconsin, their cameras captured Freddie taking Chourio up the tunnel after the end of that inning and talking about it. Have you ever had that experience, Augie, where if a player you felt didn't give the right amount of effort or did not make a play that he should have made and have to be a leader sort of thing? Because Freddie is certainly a captain, a leader of this team, and that was a teaching moment for Chourio. Like, dude, go for it. Lay out. It's okay.
I think every pitcher has gone through that. I think there's been some balls hit that you think that should be caught, and there's sometimes the player themselves. It's a veteran player. I've had it where a veteran player got a bad break on a ball in an important part of the ball game and came up short on the ball, and after the game came up to me and I said, that's okay. You did your best. I think the one thing you have to do is you have to understand that Chourio is a young player. He's trying to figure out how he approaches baseballs in the major league level in a game in different situations. And those things are going to happen. And, we got to look at another position where he's not played a lot of left field. He's been more mainly in center or right. So a little bit of adjustment. Every ballparks are different. American Family Field's a little bit different than some of the fields he plays in. So I think, yes, I think it was a learning moment. I think it was a moment where when they talked to him, and I'm sure when you look at it, that's why I like what happened with Freddie talking to him, taking him down and talking to him about it. I think those are important things. Those are important things that Chourio is going to be a better player in the long run because he's got veterans that are backing him and saying, hey, yeah, maybe you should have made that catch, but you know what? Those things happen. Make sure you understand game situations and give it your best 100% at all times.
And Freddie Peralta, speaking to the media a little bit earlier here this evening in the clubhouse, shared a little bit of the message that he told Jackson, and Freddie even said, look, he was already feeling bad. He was already apologizing. He knew he made a mistake, which, first of all, is a good sign. First of all, that a guy is identifying he messed up, and it's not, oh, I did not, whatever. It's no big deal. You don't want that arrogance leaking into a 20-year-old, and he knew he made a mistake. He knows he's working on the corner outfields right now for the Brewers. Pat Murphy agreed as such in his session with the media. But Freddie's message to him was, remember, you're here because you're great. Great players make plays like that. You can go for it next time. We saw the Miami one last week that he pulled up on. I'm not blaming him on that one. We saw Jackson make a great play yesterday, racing to the right field line on the Rob Suzuki of a base hit, right? It's in there for him. It's just a matter of getting his reps underneath him. And this is where the question I now look ahead here. Garrett Mitchell's playing catch. He's swinging again. He's hopefully going to be back in 2 road trips. They're targeting that California trip between Anaheim and San Diego for him to return. Quite frankly, if we're looking ahead here, Chourio's got 2 weeks in the big leagues to show some improvement. Otherwise, he might be getting everyday at-bats in AAA. Maybe that seasoning won't be the worst thing in the world for him.
Well, I think that's one thing this organization does so well. And, there was so much hype on Chourio making the team and coming there, but they understood that. It's that educational process. And, he's going to go through the process of making plays and coming up short and maybe making some great diving plays. Yesterday you see him run half the outfield to make a great catch. Those things are going to happen, but it's that educational part of it. I'm sure Murph has talked to him. I'm sure the coaches have talked to him. But I think even more important, when your teammates tell you, that is the most important thing. They're in it together. They understand it. They understand that he's a young player and he's going to make some mistakes. He's going to make some great plays. And those are all part of the education. And however he does, if he is a guy that they do send down to get some consistent at-bats and to play the outfield a little bit more, that's part of the process, that educational process that he will go through. He's going to be a great player. He's got all the toys, all the tools to be a great player. Now it's getting that educational process and doing it on a major level that's going to be most important.
A couple of texts that have rolled in here, 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620. Tom in South Dakota. I would like to nominate tonight's loss as the most unfun to watch game of the season. I mean, the 10th inning was pretty unfun. The 9th inning was pretty fun. You go from near no-hitter to maybe getting a chance to win it. Then this one, hard-fought game. Sure hope McGill's okay. Good news in case you missed it. He is not have a fracture. Watching at home look like his forearm's broken. It's not, thank goodness. Why not stay at first for Willy Adames to keep the 9th inning going after you tied the game instead of forcing it and making the last out, trying to do too much? I disagree. I loved that send for Adames to try to get the second. And quite frankly, the replay might have showed that he was in there safely. New York disagreed and said the call stood. But in that situation, it's no different if you're on first base. It's a massive difference, I should say, if you're on first base versus if you're on second. If you're on first base, you're not guaranteed to score on a double. Willy's not the fastest guy on the planet. If he's on second base with 2 outs, he's going to be sent. I assure you of that. I was fine with him trying to get the second. Obviously, it ended up being the final out of the 9th.
It's aggressive play, and I think that's the way this team has always played. When you look at what they do in stealing bases and running to get on base, going from first to third, we've seen a lot of times when the ball's hit in the corner, a lot of times they score. Why? Because they're aggressive. They play the game aggressively. They run the bases hard, and that's the way this team is built. That's what's been their success. That's why they play so well. That's how they score a lot of runs in 2 outs to get the big base hits that you need to have in manufacturing runs. You do that by running hard and running bases. And I don't look at anything wrong with what Adames did there. He was hustling. Not only did he put a good swing on it, but he was hustling out of batter's box, trying to get in a position to say, hey, you know what, we might have an opportunity to win a ball game there. I don't fault him for that at all.
This is a team that tries to be aggressive on the bases. That's their identity. And this one didn't work out, and no one could have seen what was happening at the top of the 10th coming as well. We'll talk some decisions. We'll talk about the offense. Sal Frelick quietly having a good little stretch right now, and what was the Brewers' plan there in the 8th and 9th innings today. We'll talk about that coming up next. 855-616-1620. Here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
On deck, more Brewers Extra Innings.
Grab tickets to any Brewers game now. Next up, it's a can't-miss homestand against the Cubs and the White Sox the week of May 27th through June 2nd. Open up a new chapter of the I-94 rivalry May 27th through the 30th as the Brewers take on the Cubs. Then join Happy Days theme night for a Bronze Fonz bobblehead at the game on Friday, May 31st. Get in on a big week of Brewers action now at brewers.com/tickets.
Sleep apnea is a serious condition. And the worst part about it is, because it affects you while you're sleeping, you don't know what this condition is doing to you.
And it was scary because I found out that I was waking up 145 times an hour. 145 times. I was scared. I wasn't getting the sleep I needed.
And that's the thing. Someone like John wakes up after thinking he's slept all night, and he's been feeling run down for years, and finally finds out something really is wrong. This is why, for us, solving sleep apnea problems is so gratifying, because we really are changing lives.
I've had more energy. I'm getting better sleep. I've been told from my wife I don't snore, but honestly, it changed my life.
This is Dr. Madan Kandula. Solving your breathing triangle problems means a better quality of life, and you deserve that.
Go to AdventKnows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
It's Heiser's amazing sales event. With Mother's Day, Memorial Day, graduations, and more, there's a lot to celebrate this month. Whether you're giving a gift or treating yourself to a vehicle upgrade, our amazing team will help you choose the best option. And to make things even better, you'll receive our exclusive Save and Sound program, which includes a multitude of benefits. See all offers and details at Heiser.com, and let us amaze you today. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Brewers fall 6-3 in 10 innings. I'm Dom Cotroneo. Jerry Augustine's with us for one more segment. Spring in Wisconsin means it's time for your annual AC tune-up. Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electricals got you covered. you've only got a couple days left, you can save $25 on AC preventative maintenance. It goes through the end of the month, so call tomorrow, call Thursday. You better get her done. Schedule your appointment today at Cider, SCIDER.com. I want to go to that eighth inning here, Augie, as the Brewers were getting no hit. Ortiz had struck out looking against Hayden Wisniewski. He's a right-hander. Brewers got to Wisniewski yesterday. Frelick singles up the middle for the first hit of the game, so it's no more no-hitter. And Churio was due, and Churio hit an RBI double off of Wisniewski yesterday in the victory. But Pat Murphy went to the lefty Oliver Dunn, and Murphy said so after that. It was strictly a platoon left-right. But I'm at the point where we just talked about Churio's defense and all that stuff. Maybe they were thinking, look, they were going to replace him defensively anyway, which I don't know how they would have done it, given you would have had to have put like Bowers into left and Miller into first or something like that. But I was really surprised by that because I feel like the Brewers are caught in one foot in each bucket where it's like they want to be a platoon team. They want to live and die by righty-lefty. And yet the other bucket is, well, Churio needs to get reps against high-level leverage pitching, and it's a guy he got to last night, so why not give him an opportunity today? Murphy has his reasoning. The Brewers have their reasoning. It's just a move that caught me by surprise, and this is not a slant on Oliver Dunn, but the numbers are the numbers. In 13 pinch hit appearances, he struck out 10 times. Some guys are just not made to be pinch hitters, and it's just the moment. It wasn't the reason the Brewers lost the game, just a moment that I sort of like, scratching my head a little bit.
Well, I think Murphy's just trying to be consistent there. That I don't think if you asked Murphy, he would have said that the reason why we put Dunn in, we had him on the bench. He's a left-hand hitter going up against Wisniewski, who's a right-hand pitcher. I think that was just a change. I don't think it was anything against Churio or anything. But I think you look at Jackson and you look at things he's going to go through. And the one thing that you do, you have to, as a manager, you have to figure out there are going to be times when you're going to pressure him. You're going to say, hey, you know what? You go up there, you're going to swing the bat. That's just the way it's going to be. And there will be times, and I'm sure Murph will do that throughout his career, throughout this year, and give him that opportunity. But I think right there, Dunn has just come back up, wanted to get him back up there, give him an opportunity. You're going to change it. You're going to make have a left-hand hitter up against a right-hand pitcher. You never know what Wisniewski might do, might walk him, might do whatever. But I think the situation right there was was one where Murph said, "I'm gonna go with the left on right," and that's exactly what he did.
And when you're looking ahead here, I know the Brewers felt like they got what they wanted out of Oliver Dunn in his brief stretch down in AAA. But when you look ahead, you had a lefty obviously start the series yesterday. He's not going to start against a lefty. Then you've got Shota Imanaga going tomorrow. He's left-handed, so he's not going to start tomorrow either. And then you look against the White Sox this weekend, you're probably going to see Garrett Crochet, who's another left-hander. So he's going to be going alternating every day of when he's playing against righties in the order. But you can't take Joey Ortiz's bat out of the order right now. Granted, he cooled off today going 0-for-3 with just a walk. I just struggle with finding good development for Oliver Dunn. Like, he was hitting well in AAA. Maybe he needs more consistent at-bats down there. And furthermore, I stand by, I'm not taking the bat out of Joey Ortiz's hands anytime soon, and he's been earned that right. Tomorrow's going to be a big day for the righty lineup and what the Brewers decide to do, given it's Shota. And do they keep Terang in there? Do they keep Bowers in there? Or do they go to that heavy righty lineup like we saw in Miami? These are questions that the Brewers' offense quietly has been in a little bit of a rut right now. I know they had the big game yesterday with 5 runs, but you can argue that, well, it all started because of an error, then finally Willie hit a homer. But I would like to see a little bit more offense right now until Rhys Hoskins comes back.
Well, against the Cubs, we haven't done too well. The innings that we have not scored a run off a starter just so far this year is it's amazing. It's a real credit to what the Cubs starters have been able to do to the Brewer hitters. And, hopefully tomorrow that will change. We'll have to wait and see. I'm sure you're going to have probably a heavy right-handed hitting order. But, you look at the game tonight, and it was really a good ball game when so well pitched. And the home run by that they had Bush hit was really a good break. A ball just got up a little bit. He put a good swing on it. But and then you had the Bellinger great play. But, these things are going to happen. These are two teams that are going to that are vying playing each other inside the division. Inside the division, games are big, and you can see that we talk about rivalries, but it's still inside the division, teams playing well against each other. It's going to get interesting. And I thought another situation came up was when Gary Sanchez came up. He went and put Mark Leiter in the game. And why did he put Mark Leiter in the game? Split finger, keeping the ball down. That's opportunity for Sanchez to hit home run off a guy like Wisniewski, who's a fastball pitcher. So I thought Craig played it right today by bringing in Mark Leiter in that situation. But the Dunn thing was nothing more than a lefty-righty situation and getting it done on at bat. And when I see getting him up there is the most important thing.
Yeah, when I see the Gary move, I get it, trying to get a little more pop over Perkins. It obviously made the defense a little more chaotic. The Brewers decided to burn the DH and put Yelich into left field, so a lot of stuff went down in that eighth inning. The Brewers didn't get it done, but Frelick broke up the no-hitter. He reached base twice today. He started the rally yesterday with the pinch hit, singled off the bench in the eighth inning. He had the good, solid game on Saturday at Fenway. He was a little quiet on Sunday, so he's starting to string together some good games here. And you look at this lineup, and you look at the outfield for the Brewers. There's not much pop in that outfield right now, aside from Yelich, who's still waiting on his first home run since being activated off the IL. It goes back to what I just said a moment ago. This team really misses Rhys Hoskins right now, and hopefully we see him back on the field sooner as opposed to later.
Yeah, and Sal Frelick's really swinging the bat well. I think what he's put together, he was in a little bit of a slump and not swinging the bat very well. But you see what he's done even in the Boston series of trying to go back up the middle. Look at how they're trying to pitch him and take what he's given. He got a fastball away from first. Sure, it was the first pitch. He went right back up the middle. And that's where his success has been. And sometimes you get up there, you get a little pull happy, and all of a sudden that pitch away, that fastball away is a ground ball to second base. But he's starting to swing the bat well, and he's done a good job for him. And when he gets on base, he's always that threat to steal the base on you, and what he did tonight. So that's what you need to have. And I think Sal's starting to swing the bat well, and that's really going to help the Brewers.
All right, Jerry Augustine joining us here on the program. We might be talking about another pitcher's duel tomorrow. Bryce Wilson and Shota Imanaga. Appreciate your insight as always, my friend, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun game to watch, and don't take anything away from Bryce Wilson. He's been throwing the ball really well. It's going to be a fun game to watch, and if this is the way this rivalry is going, we're going to have games like this. They're going to be fun to watch. So tomorrow will be a good one.
And this could be coming all the way down to the wire with these two teams. Appreciate the time, Augie. We'll talk with you tomorrow. We'll take a breather, come back with more after this on 620 WTMJ.
On deck, more Brewers Extra Innings. WTMJ is your station to catch all things Brewers. Listen to Bob Uecker.
Get out of here and way gone!
Jeff Leverett.
Struck him out with a changeup.
Lane Grindle.
And it's a called third strike.
And Josh Mauer.
Watch this, baby. Goodbye.
Call every game.
I'm surprised you still have fingernails on that right hand.
And have a little fun.
I got more in my bag.
On your home for the Milwaukee Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
We find the best way to protect and uphold the reputation of our business is to hire good people and then take care of them. We really do love the people that work for us, and we care about what's in their best interest. And what that means to you is this: who do you really want on your job? Someone who's maybe underpaid or doesn't feel appreciated, might not have paid vacations or great work benefits? Our folks have all of these things and more. Vito and I make sure they feel appreciated, because happy people do happy work. There's a culture we're building here at Semper Fi that brings respect back to a very hard job. And that's why we know that our crews are going to do the kind of work that you expect. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Whether you're an active or passively active home shopper, our agents want you to be completely up to date with what's out there and what's brand new to the market. With our instant emailed MLS updates, you'll never miss out on what could be the home of your dreams. All you have to do is call and tell us where to search, give us a price range, and soon you'll be totally in tune with your desired real estate market. Remember, MLS searches show you everything. Some of the other real estate sites don't. So call Benefit Realty today, where you'll pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com. 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission. You can't find a lower rate of commission, and you won't be able to find better knowledge, service, and real estate expertise than you'll find with our agents at Benefit Realty. Because I know that's what you expect. Now, I'm not sure you'll be able to find the highest caliber of agents everywhere, but I can promise that's what you'll get here. So choose Benefit Realty to exceed your expectations, and you'll pay less for more. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Dates today to talk about. So it's not all bad today. Brewers fall by a 6-3 final in 10 on Dominic Cotroneo. So here's some of the good. Today, Garrett Mitchell played catch, and I know that doesn't sound very big. Remember, the fracture was on his glove hand, his left hand, and it's right on between the index finger and his hand. So the fact that he actually played catch today with his own glove and not somebody catching for him as he threw was big. He showed me he's got a little pad underneath his glove today, and it's got like a little gel insert in there to absorb any sort of impact, so that's good news. Brewers are still targeting Angels-Padres series, hopefully, if things go well. He has not faced live pitching yet. He is hitting off a tee. He's doing flips. Not yet hitting live, not yet hitting on the machine. Sooner, I suppose, or later, they're expecting another follow-up appointment with Dr. Sheridan, the hand specialist down in Scottsdale, to make sure everything is good to go. And then I imagine after that, boom, it's time to go with live pitching. Another good update was Rhys Hoskins. He was running, did the full run workout today. He's going to do it again tomorrow as well to see how the body responds. And he's already been hitting for a few days. He took ground balls over the weekend at Fenway as well. So running is kind of the last hurdle to make sure that hamstring's okay. Pat Murphy kind of joked today. He's like, well, he's not that hard of a runner anyway, so let's make sure he takes it easy when he comes back. That was obviously tongue-in-cheek, but Rhys could be approaching, and also Pat Murphy admitted I would hope to see him in that Philly series. Not just because of the reunion, but they would expect, hopefully, if things go according to plan, Philly. I think Rhys is hoping deep down for the White Sox to get ready for Philly. Doesn't want to waste any bullets, does not want to go on a rehab assignment. He's missed about 2.5 weeks at this point. So that's good news when it comes to Rhys. Also good news for Jacob Junis. He threw another bullpen today. It went well. And up next will be another outing on Friday. It'll be a live bullpen. And then it will be rehab after that. And he could probably go short because he's expecting to come back in a relief role. And quite frankly, the bullpen might need it right now. And being this kind of Swiss Army knife, I asked Pat Murphy, like, hey, are you seeing him as like this quarter horse like we talked about in spring training, meaning, you know, maybe he faces the lineup one time through, not truly an opener, but not truly a starter, that sort of thing, set the lineup, then bring in a lefty, or set the lineup with a lefty starting, then bring him in following him. So that's also good news that DL Hall is throwing. J.B. Bukowskis will throw a bullpen on Friday, so he is nearing a return too. Bad news, though, on DL Hall. DL Hall is awaiting a second opinion on his MRI on his left knee. He was in his second rehab outing in AAA Nashville last week and did something on the landing. It got snagged on his delivery home, tweaked his knee once again, and he thinks it may be similar to his previous MCL sprain, something that they will have to wait to see the results. As he was getting his velo back, he was touching 95 against the Sounds. Quote, super annoying, according to DL Hall. So that's not good news at all for DL. We will wait that second opinion. Hopefully we will hear more about it tomorrow when it comes to his health. Again, the Brewers, I'll say it again, 14 games altogether with the main core. Garrett Mitchell hasn't played a game yet this season. And Jake Bauers has filled in admirably at first base. And granted, when you're facing lefties, you really want to have Rhys in there. Hasn't happened in these last 2 weeks since the hamstring pull, but something that we have to monitor here for Rhys and make sure that this isn't a nagging thing for Rhys to get them going. Because the Brewers, with their power, I was talking to some members of the media for the Cubs, just asking me point blank, do you think they can sustain this level of offense? The Brewers are in the top 5 in batting average. They're in the top 5 in on-base percentage. They're in the top 5 in, or top 10 in slugging. They're in the top 10 in OPS. These are all good things for the Brewers offense. They seem to be a pretty balanced offense. Their home run total has slowed a bit. 62 homers, but 72 stolen bases. They are the only team in baseball to have 60 and 70. The Phillies have 60 and 60. So that's certainly something to monitor as their mix of speed and power. And the question, can they sustain this? I said, well, in theory, it should get better. Yelly hasn't hit a homer since coming off the IL. Rhys Hoskins is on the IL. Garrett Mitchell will return from the IL. In theory, it should be about the same and maybe even get a little bit better. That's my true thought on this. So let it play out. Bullpen reinforcements are near. It's only we're officially a third of the way into the season. Officially. As tonight, the Brewers fall to 31-24, 54 games into the year. 54 times 3, that's 162. So we are officially one-third of the way in the year. Being at 31 wins, I think every single Brewer fan here at Game 54 would have taken 31 wins after this offseason. Every single one. They're in first place. We don't care about the record here in May. Talk to me after Father's Day. Talk to me around the All-Star break. Personally, I don't look until July. Father's Day is fine. All things going to hopefully get better, and Devin Williams will return too. They even mention that he will return sometime in July as well. So let's see how they manage through May and assess things at the end of that. Up next, we're going to hear from the manager, Pat Murphy. Brewers fall 6-3 in 10 innings on 620 WTMJ.
Coming up, more Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Ready to tackle that honey-do list? WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets. Spring cleaning time. My friends Katie and Dan at Inspired Closets want to help you calm the chaos. Inspired Closets will transform your closets or laundry room, your pantry, any space in your house. They come out for a free visit and use their 3D software to tailor a space specific to you. Right now, get 10% off or 18 months free financing. Contact them today for more details. Tell them Vinny sent you. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
All right, Brewers fall. Not a big deal. This series is going to come down on the wire, and it's going to be over right after the All-Star break, which is the fascinating part of this season series. The Cubs currently have the edge, 3-2. You've got this series, 2 more games here. They meet again here in 1 month at the end of June. Then the first midweek series after the All-Star break, the Brewers go to Wrigley, and then that's it. No more head-to-head. So it's going to come down to the wire. We've already talked about how important it is to hold that tiebreaker at the end of the season. The Brewers are 1 win away from holding the tiebreaker on the Cardinals. And as you heard our Brian call in saying, hey, don't give up on the Cardinals. Brewers had a chance to maybe cut the head off the snake back on Mother's Day, and since then, the Cardinals have won 11 of their last 14. So they've been playing good baseball. Don't sleep on them. But the good news for the Brewers is that they don't see them again until after the trade deadline. So plenty of time to figure things out there. How about what the manager said tonight? Here's what Murph had to say to the media after tonight's loss.
How's McGill doing?
It's not fractured.
Is that the extent of what you can know at this point?
Yeah, I mean, he got drilled pretty hard. He's going to be good and sore for a while.
Or just how, I mean, obviously you never want to see an injury happen, but in that circumstance, right, as you're starting the 10th, the first batter, there's not a play made, right, like just kind of everything that happened.
Yeah, there's a lot of key moments. That was one of them for sure. Robbing the home run's a huge moment. Credit to them. The throw from left field to the bang-bang play, key moment. I think they had some key moments and did what they had to do. Their starting pitcher was tremendous. He was great. That being said, you have a starting pitcher throw that well, and you have a couple things. They made some great plays. The play in left field and the home run, Robin home run, that changes games oftentimes. So hats off to them.
I know replay can kind of be, you never know exactly where it's going to go, but were you guys confident? Did you think that one was going to get overturned?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Willie said he didn't get touched, and, we thought that was safe, but it didn't happen.
Was that a night where we're kind of able to see Brown, their guy's effectiveness, like from the jump, especially with the fastball?
Yeah, you could, the guys, the left-handers were saying the ball was taken off pretty good. Not just a true fastball, but had a little life on it that they didn't see on the tape. It was really, really good. I mean, he was 97 in the seventh, right? And he opened in 97, 98. So hats off, man. That kid pitched great.
Freddie's fastball was pretty good tonight too, wasn't it?
Freddie was very good, man. One ball he'd like back. Get me over, get a head breaking ball, but he pitched like a number one tonight. And really toughed it out at the end, got that last out in the seventh. I didn't want him to go over 100 pitches, but that's just such a silly number. It's just one different than 99, but it seems so different. But yeah, I mean, and then he had the long at bat before that. So, but it was his game, and I want him to give that opportunity, and so he had to throw 5 or 6 more than I was anticipating. But yeah, he was great.
Going into the late innings, but twice the bullpen came in, snuffed out a bases loaded jam.
Yeah.
They really seem to rise to the moment, don't they?
I mean, it's been a different guy here and there, but all of them have had their moments of greatness, and that's been another one of our bright spots. Just that they've come in time after time, and done the job. So Koenig, he's been great. Paredes, outstanding. You can go right down the list. Payam, Spagero, they all did what they had to do. So
Gasser and Freddie have done a really nice job with this lineup the past couple of days. Statistically, so far this year, the Cubs have struggled against guys who have had lower release points, and Freddie and Gasser are very much part of that. They have lower release points than most pitchers do. Do you think that's kind of played into some of the success they've had so far in this series?
I mean, you can say that, yes. I mean, everybody struggles with low release guys that have, fastballs that take off up and away, like Gasser's was going up and away at times. Freddie's has the good extension and the good hop. So I think most people struggle with that, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, they were good. But the Cubs had lost some games in a row. I don't know how many, but they had lost some games in a row. And sometimes this is what they need to just breathe a little bit. But they sure played well today, and they stuck with it.
Murph, on that Dunn Churio pinch hit, was that just straight left-right, or was there anything else there? We saw on the broadcast that Freddie had a little chat with Churio.
Yeah, Freddie's one of our leaders, and he's close with Jackson, and he's close with Willie and William, who were engaged, knowing that they had to go be ready to hit there. I think it's a great thing that we have our older guys talking. He's a 20-year-old kid who felt bad he didn't get to that ball. There's been a couple balls like that this year, and he's learning. He hasn't played a lot of left field, but he's learning, and I think Freddie, was trying to encourage him, and I think the player that's that competitive takes responsibility right away, and Freddie wanted to keep up. But no, the pinch hit had everything to do with right-left.
All right, just like we talked about earlier with Pat Murphy's reasoning. All right, up next, going to play a couple of highlights for you It was a wild game. I mean, if you only look at the score and say, oh, wow, what a game. No. There was more than just 6-3 that went down in this one. That's next on 620 WTMJ.
On deck, more Brewers Extra Innings.
Is your business looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic partner? Fifth Third Bank has been looking forward to the future and helping businesses shape what's next for 165 years and for the last 15 here in Milwaukee. They offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making capabilities, and extensive experience to help navigate the complexities of a constantly changing business market environment. With your business in mind, commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Come visit, learn, and discover at the recently opened Food and Farm Exploration Center near Stevens Point in Plover, Wisconsin. The 50,000 square foot Science and Technology Center is a place to take the entire family. Experience over 60 interactive exhibits, a children's play area, and demonstration farm fields. Also enjoy the colorful Plate Cafe featuring a menu of locally sourced ingredients that are simple, fresh, and healthy. Great food comes from small kitchens. Just a short drive from Milwaukee. Plan your visit today at explorefoodandfarm.org.
Do you want the economy mulch or the premium? The only real difference is that the premium mulch has thicker strands, while the economy mulch is finer. But the colorant we use for both is of the highest quality, and that's why the color of our mulch lasts longer. And our mulch comes from trees, not pallets, and we process it all in-house. That's why our prices are so low. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. At Erickson's Landscape Supply, we have durable, maintenance-free polywood patio furniture and #1 grade treated natural pine Amish-made patio furniture. And we also have a wonderful assortment of concrete benches, statues, and fountains available in a selection you just gotta see to believe. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less, plus a whole lot more. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection or stop on in today.
Don't miss out on the Memorial Day event at Ken Michaels Furniture. Our entire showroom of heirloom quality furniture is on sale. Enjoy unprecedented discounts of 35% on Norwalk, Bradenton Young, and Amish solid wood furniture. Create a sofa, chair, recliner, or sectional as unique as you are with our thousands of customizable upholstery options. Or take immediate delivery on in-stock items. Shop the Memorial Day event now at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee. There's no doubt that a better night's sleep makes for better days, and a good quality mattress helps make it happen. When you buy your new Milwaukee mattress from Ken Michaels Furniture, you are assured of a mattress made individually for you out of the finest natural materials direct from our Milwaukee factory. We make every style, size, and firmness of mattress, and with our factory direct prices, you will save hundreds of dollars. Milwaukee mattresses from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Stop in today.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ. Ready for this?
Get up!
This?
Get up!
And this?
Get out of here! Go!
Time for tonight's highlights. Here's Dominic Catronio.
Freddie Peralta and Ben Brown, the pitching matchup tonight, Game 2 of the 4-game set, and man, was it a pitcher's duel. Only the 4th time all season in baseball that both pitchers would reach double-digit strikeouts. Here's how they got there. A solo homer from Michael Busch, though, would open the scoring in the top of the 3rd, but little did we know that would be really it against Freddie Peralta today. 1-0 for the majority of this contest. We pick it up in the 6th inning. A leadoff bloop single by Miguel Amaya, maybe a ball that should have been caught by Jackson Churiel. Nonetheless, the rally began. Tauchman fouled out, then Seiya Suzuki with 1 out was up.
2-2 on Suzuki. Amaya his lead from first base. Peralta's pitch. Struck him out with a slider. 11th strikeout for Freddie Peralta.
New season high for Freddie. He had a total of 23 riffs today, but the job was not done yet. Cody Bellinger would line a single up the middle. He was already approaching over 100 pitches at that point. They decided to leave him in for one more hitter. Christopher Morel was the batter. A 9-pitch battle ended in a walk and also ended Freddie Peralta's day. Jared Koenig had to come in with the bases loaded and 2 outs facing Ian Happ.
Check of the runners, another 0-2. Struck him out with a slider. Jared Koenig comes in with the bases loaded. He strikes out Happ, and the Cubs leave him loaded.
Unfortunately, it would still be 1-0 Cubs, and the Brewers still had a 0 In the hit column, we fast forward to the bottom of the 7th inning. Brown still working. He strikes out Yelich to start the inning. Still, no hits allowed, just 2 walks to his ledger. Willie Adames tried to get that hit column.
Brings home the pitch. High fly ball, deep right center field. Racing back is Bellinger. At the track, Wally leaps up, and Bellinger brought it back. How many times is that going to happen to Willie Adames this year?
Well, it was the 3rd time, Lane Grindle calling it there, that this year that Willie has had a home run robbed from him in the outfield. So he could be in double-digit home runs right now. Nonetheless, he would get a second chance. In the bottom of the 9th, the closer Hector Neris was on the mound. Yelich drew a 2-out walk. He got to second on a balk. Still don't know what the balk was called, but Willie was behind 1-2 in the count. He battled for a foul ball, then finally had his opportunity.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Fans on their feet. Here's the pitch. Line drive, base hit down the left field line. We're tied as Adames digs for second. The throw there in time.
And replay would show that he might have got in there, but instead the Brewers challenged it. They said the call stands, meaning no overwhelming evidence to overturn it. However, that's where the highlights would end. In the top of the 10th inning, the Brewers went to closer Trevor McGill. He got hit on a comebacker just 3 pitches into his outing. He had to be pulled from the game. It scored a run. Hobie Milner came in, had to loosen up on the game mound, and could never get into a rhythm. A 5 spot in the top of the 10th made it 6-1. The Brewers scored a couple of runs in the bottom of the 10th, but the damage was done. The Brewers fall 6-3 to the Cubs tonight. We'll wrap it up after this and preview tomorrow and Thursday's matchups on 620 WTMJ.
Coming up, more Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Hey, John Mercure here with my friend Joe Shutman, the owner of Sidex Windows, Siding, and Baths, who tells me it's not so much about the product, it's about the customers.
At the end of the day, this is a people business.
Sidex did my bathroom and transformed it by taking out a bathtub and putting in a gorgeous walk-in shower.
We got to make people happy at the end of the day, and that only works by getting it done right.
Joe took over the business when his dad passed away. And carrying on his legacy is what it's all about.
Nothing's more important to me.
It's Sidex, S-I-D-E-X, like excellence. Check out SidexRemodel.com.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com. Grab tickets to any Brewers game now. Next up, it's a can't-miss homestand against the Cubs and the White Sox the week of May 27th through June 2nd. Open up a new chapter of the I-94 rivalry May 27th through the 30th as the Brewers take on the Cubs. Then join Happy Days theme night for a Bronze Fonz bobblehead at the game on Friday, May 31st. Get in on a big week of Brewers action now at brewers.com/tickets.
We asked people why they sold their homes to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
We looked at a few businesses that purchase homes, and Grandview seemed to be the one that had it together. Not only did we receive a fair offer, but we were able to take as much time as we needed and could leave the house a mess.
Whether you have a hard-to-sell home, want a stress-free sale, or simply need to sell your home fast, Grandview Homes is the name you know and the name you can trust. Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for J.D. Griffiths. It was time for us. Our house was 20-plus years old, and the garage doors were getting dated. They were dinged up, and they were really hurting the value and the look of our house. That's why we called J.D. Griffiths, a local company. They've been at it in Milwaukee for more than 70 years, providing premier garage doors and building detached garages. We've got our new doors now, and they pop. I still got neighbors talking to me about it. Now, J.D. Griffiths does have an exclusive offer right now for you, the WTMJ listener. With any purchase of a new garage door, you can save $100 on your garage door opener. Just call 414-362-7222 and mention me, WTMJ's Erik Bilstad, or fill out the form at jdgriffiths.com/WTMJ to schedule your free at-home estimate and claim your deal. That number again, 414-362-7222. J.D. Griffiths.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Same time and same place tomorrow, 6:40 first pitch. We're on the air at 6:05 with the On Deck Show here on 620 WTMJ, and I've got you after the game as well with Jerry Augustine to react to it all here on Brewers Extra Innings. And in case you missed it, Shota Imanaga is the man tomorrow, in case you've been living under a rock and don't understand why this is a big deal. Well, the 30-year-old from Japan in his first year stateside has been, quite frankly, the best pitcher in baseball. It'll be his 10th start of the season. He is 5-0, an 0.84 ERA, 58 strikeouts in 53 2/3 innings. He has given up 7 runs all season. Just 7. Only 5 of them are earned. He's only given up 3 home runs as well. And he's also got a 10-day layoff here since his last start. Over in Japan, they use a 6-man rotation, and there's an off day every week. So you're pitching once a week, whereas here stateside, there's an expectation to pitch every 5 days. So when his game got rained out on Friday in St. Louis, the Cubs decided, you know what, let's just go ahead and skip his turn and have him go against the Brewers next week, give him a little extended break to get back on track. This is something that the Mets did last season with Kodai Senga. He has not had a decision, though, in his last 3 starts. He's been great. Part of the reason is the bullpen behind him has struggled as well. In fact, his last start was against Pittsburgh, and he went 7 shutout innings against them, but they only won 1-0. Previous to that, against Atlanta, 5 shutout innings against the Braves. They lost 2-0 after the bullpen had lost it. So the best pitcher in baseball, arguably, is on the mound tomorrow against Bryce Wilson, who's coming off maybe his best outing of the season against the Red Sox. Last outing following an opener from Jared Koenig. He went a total of 5 1/3 innings, 6 hits, just 2 runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, a season high for him, and just 1 solo home run allowed. It was one of his better games of the season. He threw 80 pitches in that one. I imagine this will be a traditional starter day for Bryce Wilson tomorrow. Let him loose. He's got a 3-1 record, a 2.86 ERA. And then on Thursday, it is a noon game, a 12:10 first pitch here on 620 WTMJ. That means we're on the air at 11:35. And then into Brewers Weekly that night with no post-game show at Brewers Weekly at 8 o'clock that evening. And then finally, Friday, the White Sox, the Southsiders, will come to town. That will be back to a 7:10 first pitch with summer officially beginning on the final day of May here. 7:10 against the White Sox on Friday. That's going to do it for my show here tonight. Thank you for tuning in and staying up late with us here on the program. My thanks to Max Myerson, our producer. I'm Dom Catronio. Brewers fall 6-3-10, but until next time, keep on swinging.
Trust in your family's comfort at home with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. They're the